conversation will rule the nation on face-to-face basis when we blast off. It's real on the dance floor, on the turf of the court. Yeah, we here for the sport, so take your mask off so I can hear your ass talk. Let me hear you explain. Hold the thoughts on your brain. Is your ass smart? Spit facts and real talk. I need that shit from the street that make you think real deep and take a long walk. This podcast is hella lit with my man JD Fence and Skizzo Blizzo.
Pay me first, ain't shit free. But fuck it, I'll give you one. Next time you should ask for one. Whipping them 2 out of storms. I ain't even scared of my arms. I'm with your shit when I jump out the car. This ain't my whip, maybe it's probably yours. Oh shit. Got a shotgun cause I crashed my wheel. If the cops come, they stash that shit. She stash it, yeah. We good, they passed us. Exhale large bills when we gas them. Big dough. Yeah. And I ain't even mad, but double XL, they swag us. Swaggy blend. So we blacks for the boss, but fuck what you wrote, yeah. They cannot stop me, y'all just gon' copy. Go out and beat them. I ain't even mad though. I don't want it back though. Y'all can handle it, come off real crazy first, then I'll come through with the lazy verse. Twice. Pay me first, ain't shit free. They be like, bro, you just said that. I be like, bro, where that bread at? Seriously, where that? The fuck that you ain't finna sip on no tea. Talk about that's none of your business. If you don't get no, that shows enough. I'm sorry, I gotta make a living for you. Sorry, my nigga. I really remember them days in the kitchen. My niggas really be whipping. Fuck do they know about risks? Pay me first, ain't shit free.
Yo, what it do, family, man? Welcome back, man. Masculine Cover Podcast, man. JD Fence in the house, man. JAYDFENCE, baby.
It's your boy Hollywood Skids, man. Back from long vacations. You ain't seen us in a while. Still doing our thing. We didn't leave y'all. But with heavy hearts, man. R.I.P. to my nephew. F.A. Replay, man, passed away last week, man. Big loss to Boston, not just our family, man. Condolences. Stacy, I love you.
Hip-hop.
Jeff, I love you. The whole Boston community, man. Whole Cali to Boston, everywhere, man. He was doing his thing. And really affected me hard, man. I've been secluded and in the house, man. Just didn't want to face life itself. But we playing this music here, man. Got the drink of the day named after my nephew. So I'm gonna go on, man, just for him.
What was the name of that track just played?
Sip Tea, man. Shit, everyone know that one, man. My man won a Boston Music Award. He performed at the Boston Music Award. Sold out House of Blues, man. He did it all, man, on his way. But shit, we keep that memory alive, man. We keep doing this podcast at Hefe for you, man. You know what I mean? Sometimes I get up, don't want to do it, but shit, for you, I do it all.
Rest in peace, F.A., man. Like, yo, condolences out to Stacy, Jeff. You definitely, man, family, love y'all, man. Like, ain't no words to say, man.
Oh yeah, R.I.P. Jocelyn, Jeff, your sister, man. I know she passed like a couple of days. Like, the whole family's going through it. So Jocelyn, good friend of mine too. Knew her for a long time, over 20 years, almost herself. So that's Hefe's aunt. So condolence to the family, and R.I.P. Jocelyn, Queen.
What you got for your drink of the day for today? Man?
Oh man, you know I just told y'all after my nephew, man. Y'all just heard the song, one of his hit songs, Sip Tea. So I got this Douce green tea with honey, Hefe replay, man. It's that Hefe tea. So we make one for y'all. Got the green tea already here with the honey. Put a little, oh shit, you got to pour shit. Ice, shit. Pour that in there right there. I'm sorry y'all don't see it all. Gotta have tea still in there, tea bag still in there. Simple. Made it up quick, man, you know what I mean? I'm still mourning, but I had to give a little special drink for my nephew, man. Known him all his life. He's still here. R.I.P. Hefe.
R.I.P. Hefe.
R.I.P. Jocelyn.
R.I.P. Jocelyn.
So here we go.
Once again, this song. Yeah, man. So, you know, what's been going on? I mean, obviously, just that thing. I mean, but
Shit, man, just trying to get through the holidays with all this bad news and shit. It seems like death around the corner, man. Every time I pick up a phone, man, I don't even want to answer phones no more, man. It's always bad news. Ain't nothing good. Like, nigga won $1 million or scratch ticket, 500,000. It's always, man, you heard about this or you, what's his name did this and this thing got locked up. I said, man,
how's Thanksgiving with the family, man? Like,
shit, he killed the turkey. Nah, that was good though. The whole family was there. I had my daughter, my 3 sons, so everybody was at the house. My wife had her sister, brother, her mother over, so it was intimate, chilling. Makes you sit back and just look like, damn, man, thankful for what you have, man. Like, if your family's complete, man, shit, you better be fuck the money, fuck whatever else you trying to get out here. If you got a complete family where everyone's alive, shit, just be thankful for that, man.
love and family.
Yeah, definitely. Appreciate it more when people around you pass.
So who burnt the macaroni and cheese or who fucked up the potato salad?
Man, we actually ordered our bird.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, she doctored it up and then she did all the sides, but we ordered the bird from
The chicken coop? Like Kentucky Fried Chicken or something?
Roscoe's. Nah, oh man, I'll be here all day fucking up time. But we ordered the bird and, we did the rest of the sides, mash, stuff in, all that shit. She did all that. So, regular liquor. We made the moonshine in the bathroom. That shit was like honey and nah, I'm just,
Yeah, I was gonna say, they
But,
use some of the dirt from the baby's bath.
But nah, it was a good, meal was good, everything was good, man. My sister brought dessert, so it was a good time. Good. So what about you, nigga? What you silent for?
Oh, yeah, well, shit. I mean, I was waiting for that question, but yeah, man, like for Thanksgiving this year, man, we did a little different, man. Like, my brother-in-law, shout out Big Rick, man. Pretty Rick is what they call him. Bought his house in Texas, a couple of years now, so finally got wifey to get on the plane, and finally got my wife to get on the plane with me to fly down here to Texas. And then moms came down, brother came down, so.
Oh, moms came down too?
Yeah, moms,
Ralph?
yeah. Nah. Her moms came down.
Okay.
Now my brother did it here, so my family here stayed all over
Okay.
there. So he probably had 20 to 30 people over there at his big house. Shout out CD. But yeah, so we flew to Texas, man. We had a blast. We was there 12 days, man. So we flew in like the week before, stayed. Went to the Houston Texans game. We stayed in Houston first. Cause my brother's well, he's a Redskins, a Commandos fan, whatever they are.
They won,
so,
right?
Oh, they smashed Houston, man. So at least we got to do the tailgate. My man Rick was on the grill and all of that. Yeah. Those games started an hour early, so I was like, 1 o'clock, we should be Man, them games started at noon out there, so we out there in the parking lot, like, yeah,
The
man.
game started at noon.
Game started at noon out there, man.
Oh,
so
the
like,
time-
the
the-
time
oh,
changed.
okay.
That hour behind, so I'm sitting up there like, man, he got me out there drinking. I don't even do that early drinking. I was like, man, listen, when in Houston, do what they do.
Drinking
Had a
early.
couple of beers, man, a couple of shots, man, sat out there. But it was a good game, well, for them, because the Redskins won. Well,
Yeah.
Commandos, man. I don't know why I keep calling them the Redskins, but he had a blast. He was talking trash to all those Texans fans, man. Like, he got bent, like, and they, like, yeah,
That was
like,
a blowout.
y'all losing. It was a blow, man. We walked in 7-0. I think it was like the first play of the game. I think it was a pick six. I was like, man.
Nigga caught the quarter and
Yeah.
flipped and ran it in.
Yeah. So then we spent time in Austin. Caught a show down there. Mike Epps show was out there. Adele Gibbons, Michael Blackson, Desi Banks caught a nice show out there.
You the Cowboys hat?
Type of. It was in Killeen for a minute. So we had Thanksgiving up in Killeen, man, like my peoples, man. So mom dudes cook, wifey cook. Big Rick smoked 2 birds on a little smoker.
Okay.
Grilled some meats, man, some ribs, some steak, some chicken. So man,
Ate
we
good.
we ate good, man. I'm trying to tell you, man, my trainer looking for me, man. Like, I just canceled Christmas, baby. It was
good.
yeah, it was on the pop, man. So we really enjoyed ourselves, man. We got back Wednesday night, so just kind of get back in the realm of things, which is why we piecing this together, man. We got to give the fans what they want. We have to drop something for y'all. So, you know, tonight it ain't going to be a big, long podcast. We don't have a bunch of topics to talk about, but we just want to get on camera, let y'all know we still moving in the right direction.
Still out here.
Y'all gonna see, you know, some edited videos, man. We're trying to keep improving, you know, quality sound, quality picture, comments, man. Like, you know, subscribe, tell your friends to tell a friend.
Got some big interviews coming up, so just stay tuned, you know. Keep the ride. You already started riding with us, man. Don't get out the car yet, man. It's going too fast, man. Wait till you hit a stop sign or something. Y'all gonna ride with us.
And shout out to my man James, man. Like, it's another Abram out there. We ended up meeting. That's family, first cousin to them. Like, they just met.
Bought some shirts, man?
Did I?
Yeah.
And then I left them in the suitcase. But yeah, shout out to Calvin, man. My man Calvin down in Fort Worth. Like, always come through. It's always a pleasure to hang out with you. My man can't wait to get back to Texas to hang out with you. Low Sin, I know we ain't catch up with each other, man. You know, we was hours apart. We were so many hours apart from each other, man. Like, Houston's so huge, man. Shout out to my cousins, man. Manny, Zoe, Chris, all y'all, man. Like, I know I ain't get a chance to get to y'all even when I was in Houston, but, you know, we'll do something sooner than later, man. So, just shout out to everybody, man. That's what, like you said, Thanksgiving, man. It's good to be around family and friends, man. Enjoy that time, man, because like you said, ain't nothing promised to nobody. And we just gonna keep this podcast barking, man. Y'all stay tuned, man. Everything's popping off on our end, man. Tonight, what we gonna do? I know what y'all been missing, man. Like, you know, we had our drink of the day. We haven't been doing the question of the day for a while. We've been having a lot of interviews, what have you. Now, this question tonight, man, like it ain't suspect. We definitely gonna do a part 2 because this is one of those questions where like you definitely need more of a crowd. That's why we're gonna need y'all input, put comments in there, because at some point we definitely gonna have that call-in line too. Y'all can call in and, you know, give your opinions live or what have you.
We'll go live once in a while on Facebook or Instagram or something, you know, more often than usual. So you guys can respond on that too.
Definitely.
Start doing that in the New Year's or even before the New Year's. So a lot of people been asking me like, why you guys don't go live so we can get some right away comments, you know what I mean? So definitely that's coming soon. So we'll give you the time when we're gonna air, and then you guys can just tune in and respond. We'll read as much as we can, as many responses as we can. I mean, probably can't read them all, so some people might not be heard, but that's up and coming.
And it's Masculine Covered on everything. Masculine Covered Facebook, Masculine Covered YouTube, Masculine Covered Instagram, Masculine Covered Twitter. So, you know, we on all those platforms, man. So definitely hit us up on all those platforms, man. Reach out to us. Now, what kind of sparked this is, I mean, we was in Houston, and tragically, on Thanksgiving, an ex-husband walked into the back door of a family dinner, and he murdered his ex-wife and murdered another male at the place and wounded 2 other people. So 4 people were shot at this murder scene, and there was 4 other people that was actually sitting at the table. This was at like 9 o'clock at night after they had Thanksgiving dinner, what have you, and gathering, and a few people was able to scatter, what have you, but they finally got the guy. They said it was the ex-husband. So watching and seeing a story like that, it got us to thinking, me and Wifey talking, and then talking to Skizzo, Blizzo, like growing up and seeing people in different relationships. We've all seen some women that we call batshit crazy. We've seen some men that we call batshit crazy. You've seen people stalking, being outside, windows, butterball, naked, slashing tires, setting houses on fire, what have you. So, again, this is going to be a little deep, but obviously, we got T-Mac always in the house. She's going to have her input. But let me just go ahead and get to the question of the day, man. When should you stop trying to pursue a relationship that your partner has ended? That's the gist of it, and we'll let Skizzo take off right there. What you think?
When the partner says it's over. All right, let's go.
All right, good night. Thank y'all for
Good night. Well, shit, obviously this question is, to me, in my opinion, so, I'm going to elaborate after you guys talk more, but for me, being honest, shit. No, you know what? Let me start about fuck myself up, because I had some incidents where this would have not been true. They would be calling like, well, nigga, what the fuck? Shit, it's over when you finish dealing with all the feelings you have inside you. You know what I mean? Like it's never, if my girl says it's over and I'm not ready for it to be over, then it's not over for me. The relationship to her could be over, but if maybe it was because of what I've done wrong, I don't know, her, whatever, say it's what I did wrong, I'm still trying to fix that. I don't want to leave my family, so I'm going to keep trying. So it's over when I realize that I can't make this work anymore. In certain situations, different relationships are different. So like you said, this is vague. This is why this goes everywhere. I'm just talking about one relationship right now. So we probably need like 3 hours to talk about each relationship. When you said it was over or they said it was over, and how you reacted is probably different than the other relationship. So to where I'm at now, the person I am now, when it's over, and we've communicated and we've come up with this is the best way to go. And I think that's when it's over.
It's over when I say it's over. Nah.
Exactly.
But obviously, sometimes people, because we did lead into this with that tragic incident, and rest in peace to that family, and condolences to that family that happened in Houston. So again, one thing I want to make sure that I'm clear on is that I'm not incorporating the murder aspect. So I don't think that anybody should be committing a murder at all. So that's off the table. But when I say like when you're in love, everything's on the table. Again, murder's off the table. We're not even considering that. But love, I think, is crazy, right? Like that's why they say like, yo, I'm a fool in love, or I'm crazy for love, or what have you. Like it's a part of that brain that I don't think that you operate, in your sane mind anyway. Like you do so much different things. I've seen people like, and you live your life this way, you're like, okay, I'll never do this. And then you fall in love, and then this is the guy that you'd never expected to be, holding hands and wearing his or her t-shirts. So love will make you do crazy things. So when if you're in a relationship and somebody come to you and say, okay, I think that, you know, our time is up, I want to move, you know, in this direction, that may not be the case for the other person. Like, people always want to just equate it to just a male, but it's some females too. Like, that person's not over with the relationship. Like, so just because you're done doesn't mean that I'm done, but also, was it something I did? Was it something I said? Did we grow apart? And then can we bring it back together? So the person that's still in love, why would you throw anything off the table? I'm gonna be at your house, I'm gonna be sending roses, writing letters. Now there's text messages, stuff like that, social media, like whatever it takes. Because if you're in love, you want to still be with that person. So, and we've seen people get back together. Like, it's not like this isn't, you know, something that can happen. Okay, you was mad today and it took a week, it took a month, it took a year. I don't care how long. A person in love, time doesn't matter. It could be a year. You're like, hey, you still chasing that chick? Like, yo, watch your mouth. Like, that's still my girl. That's still my wife. Like, isn't the divorce final? Like, nah, it's not final, because as long as that person's still here and I'm in love with them, there's a chance. Mm-hmm. So the dynamic of, okay, when's enough? Do you keep fighting for love? Or when do you stop fighting for love? And I think it carries on, but I know T-Mac's over here itching. Speaking to the mic for us, because you have a little bit so we can hear you clearly.
I mean, I agree with what both of you have said.
What?
But I also
know what I said.
But I also want to add that, you know, to answer your question specifically, is when you should stop pursuing it is when you are getting ready to actually physically harm somebody because they're not accepting, you know, the phone calls and the flowers and coming to the job, and they're trying to move on in another relationship. So now you know, now you've gotten to the point where you want to harm someone. And it's not that, you know, like you said, I don't want to discuss the murder either, because I think that is just something that should never be an option. But, you know, you could maim somebody. Like, you could stab somebody, you could hurt somebody, you could break someone's arm, you could push someone and break their neck, and now they can't walk. So it's different things. So the time frame itself is difficult to say. Like, you know, when a relationship first ends, you know, it could be both parties, you know, still have feelings for each other, but you can't get past the situation, or you can't get past, you know, the fact that somebody's not doing something or somebody is doing too much of something. Mm-hmm. So there will be times where, you know, you want to call your ex or want to go out to dinner, want to, you know, continue to talk it through once some of the anger subsides from whatever the reason is why you broke up. But at a certain point, the person that is pursuing this other person that has said, you know, I no longer want to be with you, I think this needs to end, I think it really needs to stop. If you get to a point where you want to physically put your hands on this person to, you know, for whatever rage you have because they don't want to continue the relationship, or when you realize everything that you're doing to get this person's attention is not working, because that can turn into harassment at a certain point. Like, how many phone calls do you need to make that the person is not answering, or text messages not being responded to, or flowers that's being returned, letters that's not being, you know, no one's writing you back. So at a certain point, you just have to accept that I still love this person, but clearly they don't want to be with me. And when you think about it, you know, if you really love somebody, you want them to be happy even if it's not with you. So if they have shown signs of moving on, they're dating, or, you know, sometimes you have to let things run their course. And is it possible that in a year, 2 years, I mean, possibly even 3 years later, you may be able to reconnect with that person? Who knows? But to consistently continue because you love this person and you feel like you should be able to continue to pursue this person until infinity because it's what you want, you're not taking the other person's feelings into consideration at a certain point.
But what I'm saying is that sounds great to the same mind who's not going through it. But once you're going through it, you're under the influence. You're under the influence of love, like under the influence of alcohol. So what we're saying now is speaking to someone who's going through it, who's been in real love, and is their spouse or the other half is broken up with them, and some people's mind are not as strong as the other. So once you're like, when you drink alcohol, you gotta have a strong mind to not do certain things or act up on alcohol. Even with a strong mind, sometimes you say dumb shit, do dumb shit, crash. Many people die from dumb shit on alcohol. Love, I think, is the same thing. Toxic love or deep love is the same thing when you're under the influence so heavy. When someone breaks up with you and that's the love of your life, it's just like this fucking Duce. Like, man, I'm going through it. Like, you ain't leaving.
Dog,
like you're not sane.
You are so spot on.
Yeah.
Bro.
So what we're saying would make sense to someone under the influence of love. To me.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, with love, like you said, this mindset. All right, she's moved on, or he's moved on, or he's dating someone, or she's dating someone. That means something to who? Like, I'm in love with you, and I gotta prove my love. I'm gonna show up. I'm going to be there. A person to love. So obviously, I'm gonna have to say me, but I'm not talking about me, guys. So I'm not a nutbag. But either way, you're right. So,
never did that.
so
crazy.
I just want y'all to understand. Okay. So, but like somebody that's in love, like I totally see how you're my everything. Like, I changed my world for you. We changed our worlds for each other. That can't be over. I can't accept that being over today because you're feeling a certain way or because I did something wrong or whatever the situation may be. All the history, I can't forget all of that. I can't fall out of love that fast. So like now, how long does it take for me to fall out of love? That varies. But I'll be damned to see somebody that's in love not doing everything possible. Like you would always, what do we always talk? Fight for what's right, or do what you're supposed to do, things of that nature. So if you're in love with somebody, you're like, okay, this is the person of my dreams. This is the person that I want to spend the rest of my life with, or you was married or on the way to get married, whatever it may be. There is no end. Like, okay, so you already bought a dozen of flowers on Monday, so you don't need to do it Tuesday. Shit, if I got the money, I'm gonna do it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. There is no common sense. There is no thought process of something's too much. Love is that fight for, and I'm trying to get there at all costs.
And I completely understand what you're saying behind that, but we're talking about when should you stop pursuing.
No,
But like I said, you should stop pursuing this person if it gets to a point where you're gonna either physically hurt this person, or at this point you're harassing this person where now they're going to get police reports and different things, because just because you're in love doesn't mean I have to suffer under that.
Right.
And if I don't want to, like, it's going to get to a certain point where it's like, you know what, he's not getting it. I'm not answering him. I don't want to talk to him. This is not a fixable situation. So just because you're in love and this is what you feel you need to do, you could do whatever you want to do. But that doesn't mean that the person that is on the receiving end of this has to accept that.
You know what I just thought about real quick?
With that, go ahead.
Well, real quick. You know what I thought about? Because this is what I think becomes part of the issue. For a person that's in love with somebody and like, oh, now you're harassing me, I want to go to the police station, what have you. And that person's mindset that's in love with somebody, like, wait a minute, this is what you wanted. You made me this way. You wanted me to court you. You wanted me to buy you things. You wanted me to treat you a certain way. I've done everything you asked of me to get me to this point. Like, I didn't meet you one day and was like, yo, I want to be in love with you. Come on. Like, this ain't no caveman thing. Like, so, and it's funny because I'm a male, so I'm speaking from a male perspective, but I want to look at believe me, I'm talking on both sides, right? Like anybody that's in love or been in a relationship like that, it's not like someone's dragging you into love. Like, so all of the stuff that built this part of you, in your mind, you're like, okay, you got me this way. We got here together. You made me this way. Like now, me fighting for that love, this is who you fell in love with. This is what you wanted. Like, so I'm not gonna back off
Because
because
nigga Tammy watching. I see them symptoms, nigga. That nigga scared me, nigga.
No, but
Got me here. You brought me here.
But somebody that's thinking like that is like, wait a minute, like I'm not gonna give up on that long path to get me here off of one day.
And I think she gets that, but what Tammy's saying, which I agree on, is the question is she's answering it. But I think the question is universal. The answer is universal to that question,
I agree.
and it would be no more. It wouldn't be so much of a talking point because what you're saying is right. Like if someone's going to get hurt, that's it. That's how it should be.
Right.
But what we're saying is we're going deeper in like
and people do take it there.
take it there.
People
A
do
lot of
take it
people
there.
take it there because they just can't control it. In the beginning, it's all saying like we're talking about it right now. All
Right.
three of us.
Right.
And look how we're talking about it.
Right.
Let it be happening right now. I think we all would be acting. Not saying we all be crazy, but who knows how we would be acting now? If you took away my partner wanted to take away what we built and take away the family and all that. Like who knows? You know what I mean? What I
Obviously, I agree with everything we all said, and obviously we're not condoning any of that. But I can see how, like you said, somebody that's been in a relationship, have kids and this, that, and the other, and they keep reaching out to their wife, ex-wife, what have you, girlfriend, ex-girlfriend, boyfriend, ex-boyfriend. And after so much of that, whether it's one day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year, I can see where something can get physical. Again, I'm not condoning anything, but I can see the person saying, listen, I love you, like, look at me, like, it do go from sending a text message, sending flowers, whatever, like, okay, now I need to physically stop. Look at me, like, yo, you need to be with me. That's sane mind, that's irrational, that's rage, what have you. But somebody love, like, yo, whatever it takes for me to get you back on point, that's what I'm gonna do. There is no, it's hard to put your mind in, but like, literally, I have to do whatever. If I have to grab you by your neck and be like, yo, listen, look at me, like, yo, I'm in love with you. You're supposed to be in love with me. I can see how that could happen.
I mean, I'm to further ask the question of, is it love or is it now turned into hate for that person?
No, it's never hate.
For
Which is love.
Because this person is continuously rejecting you. So you may love this person, but because of the rejection, that love can now turn into a hate thing. So now I want to mess your life up at this point. I want to be at your door, messing around with your girlfriend, putting stuff in the mailbox, just doing random stuff, because now, you know what, I'm going to be an irritation to you. You're not going to be able, but that's what I'm saying. Which is it now? That's what I'm saying. Well, which is it now? Like, if this person is continuously rejecting you and you are just in love with this person, you want to be with this person, you don't understand why this person doesn't want to talk to you, you're really not accepting the fact that this person no longer wants to be with you, at a certain point that love is no longer, you're not moving under the premise of love. You're now maneuvering under the premise of hate for this person.
But you can love somebody so much that you hate them.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. When does that, it's hard to kind of define those.
But see,
when the change actually happens from love to an hate situation.
And I agree with you. And on the outside looking in, without us being doctors, people can see that, like, you know what, this person is nuts or this person has changed. Continue to try to put your mindset in the person that is in love with somebody. They don't see that as hate. Although it might be driven from love and it's turned to hate. That person still.
We got to put our mind.
No. No, because this is something that I always bring up, right? Like the Mike Tyson incident and the Kobe Bryant incident. Wow, rest in peace, Kobe. But I've been saying this for years, right? Like, a lot of people used to be like, okay, ain't no way in the world Mike Tyson did that or what have you. And I'm like, you've never been into that mindset. You never know what it's been like for somebody to never hear the word no. Like at that point, like, so we can't fathom him being in a room and somebody saying like, okay, no, this isn't gonna happen or what have you. Like even the Kobe incident, like, okay, no, I want to leave this room or what have you. To us, we're sitting up here like, yo, how could this happen? Like, no, there's no way in the world. But
Let's not go there. That's
no, just I did, because I just said, put your mindset into somebody that is that crazy in love, right? Like, we can't, that somebody's like literally driven to do some things. We think rational, so we'll sit up here like, oh, well, at some point, like, oh, she has an
You say rational because we're not going through that right now.
Right, but like, because you did put out the point, like you did say that earlier, like, you know, we was going through it, we would be thinking differently. So now, so even with that being said, if you're saying that, you agree with that, because we're rational, we're not going through it. If
Our
we
answers
was-
are different right now.
And if we was going through it, then we would behave a certain way.
I think
If
so.
we
I
were
mean,
going-
I can't speak for them.
Right, we can't speak, but I would say that we would be going through, we would be acting a different way. Now, once we agree that if we were in that mindset, we would be acting a different way, how can you tell me when I should cut it off or when that person should cut it off? If I'm in that mindset, it's almost like when you're gone, you're gone.
Right.
So we're changing
But when you think about it, like, hurting this person is going to do what for you? Like, if your goal is to try to convince, try to talk it out, try to get this person to come back to you, hurting this if the flowers wasn't getting it, if the phone calls and the showing up at the job and trying to take this person out to dinner wasn't getting what you wanted, what do you think actually hurting this person at this point is going to do?
Because it turns into hate now. It's
Right.
not about me.
So-
getting
Right.
Listen, like you don't see all these, oh, sorry.
back. Bro, I can't have you go now.
Right, so then it turns into something very different. So now it's like you don't really love this person. That has now festered itself into something very different, which could come a, it could be hate, it could be obsession, it could be turn into stalking, it could turn into something that's psychotic.
But I still think they're in love.
Yeah.
I just think they're under the influence because once, I don't want to go to negative, once they murder somebody or
Right.
hurt somebody.
Right.
But once the act is done, I think they come back, their sanity comes back, and they're like, oh, fuck. Like,
Right.
And they treat him like someone else murdered him. Which
Facts.
is maybe
Facts.
what the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde is another person. Like, some people get off for insanity. Or
That's what I was saying. That's why they actually have that law in place. If you walk into your bedroom and you see the male or female in the act of something, a crime of passion, you actually get it. It's in the books. Like you're legally.
Is it? Active passion?
I mean, every state has some form
Crime of
of
passion law.
Right.
Like if you walk in,
Where it's
there's
not an
different things that you can and cannot do.
Yeah.
And I haven't read every book, but the books I have read, nah, like people go like, yo, this dude is, but like you can be declared legally insane at that time, but you like can't go downstairs, get a knife, and come back up and all that stuff. Like,
Man, you should sleep with Tyler.
yeah, listen,
This nigga
But,
know the laws.
nah, you the whole world here, like, yo, I'm trying to tell you from day one. Nah, but we watch those shows like, Love for My Man, For My Man, and
Fatal
Fatal
Attraction.
Attraction, like, so, so, but, it's good to have these conversations.
What's love?
Yeah, New Edition song came on the way coming up here. What was the name of the song? I Love You Still or something like that.
No, I'm still in love with you.
I'm still in love with you. So I'm like, yo, love you drive. Like, yeah, this is the topic that we got to talk about tonight. But yeah, again, man, like, we just kicking it around. We definitely gonna do a part 2 to this, man, and we definitely want to have y'all feedback put in the comment section like what we missed, what we said was good, what we said was bad, your feelings, and again, we definitely want to have the opportunity to have call-ins, and maybe we'll do it live, man.
And if you want to be a guest on the show, like he just told you, Mask Uncovered podcast on all social media platforms, hit us up. You know what I mean? Like, tell us. I mean, maybe you can call us. We'll inform you what the topic's going to be about. It might be something in line with you, and come on down. I mean, everybody can't come down, but if we okay and okay a few people, come on down sometime.
And we can fly you down from state to state, like you see, we just came out from Texas.
We'll get you on that.
Half
an agent Cecil, that's before
the
Greyhound.
We got a connection with Spirit Airlines where y'all buy y'all ticket and they'll, fly you down here. So, we'll definitely make sure.
Pay for the meat, Doritos, and orange juice.
I'll make sure it'll be a big bag of pretzels at the check-in for you. So, listen, we'll definitely fly you in and out.
But hit us up if you want to come down. We'll get back to you. Tell you what the topic's going to be. If it's not a few more people ahead of you, then come on down, give your opinion.
When you tap now, what you had to say too, man?
I mean, I just wanted to say like one more thing that, it doesn't have to be a deranged reaction all the time, like when it's a breakup. Because we recall the situation in North Carolina, I believe it was some years ago, where a woman's husband like started messing around with like the secretary or something like that. And the wife actually filed a lawsuit against the mistress for alienation of affection and got a settlement of $1 million from her. Now, some people would say she was maybe, being a little childish for filing a lawsuit, but she still loved her husband, right? They still had a wonderful relationship according to her. She had different cards and letters and different things over the years that they had collected. But he started messing around with the secretary, and she, they eventually broke up behind that situation, but she didn't just let it go. So I'm not saying it always has to end in like, some type of violence. Like, they do have that law in North Carolina that people do use. Like if there is some type of situation that we're talking about where someone is saying, I want this to end. And this person's like, well, no,
And one of the biggest cases in North Carolina was a football player. I don't know why his name is escaping me right now, but it was a football player that took a man's wife from him, and he was able to win his case because when you're a star, obviously it's different rules and regulations to it, what have you, but he was able to prove that, okay, you were able to coerce or take my wife from me because of who you were, which you was able to provide for. Mm-hmm. And sure enough, he won his case. Like, sure, he was messing with the football player. But, yeah, so again, alienation of affection or something like that. But people know that love is a dangerous thing. And like you said, it's a thin line between love and hate. And scientists and all that diagnose that love is a part of the membrane that actually is the same side of the brain. So, like, that's why people that are in love would jump in front of a bullet with somebody that would, knock somebody's head up. Like, there's different things you'll do for love. That's not a rational person. So It's ironic that people could sit up here and see other people acting irrational. Like, look at that woman busting out of this car window. Instead of saying like, wow, that man might have really hurt her or what have you. Like, she's really in love with her. We're quick to judge, but we're judging off of stuff that we actually even know. So we don't even come to that conclusion of, what God I hate.
I mean, I just hope that, at the end of it, it's just sad to say that, in some of those situations, it has, turned into someone losing their life. And which is the tragedy of it, where, it just couldn't be, the person just couldn't move on from it, from whatever it was. I mean, clearly they got a divorce. So it was, by the law, it was over. The relationship had ended. It was done. And I don't know if this other guy that was there was someone she was seeing or what the situation was. But it's just unfortunate that, it sometimes does get to that place where, people have lost their lives behind, you know, someone just not being able to move forward, whether the love turned into a hate situation or whatever it is. So, I mean, do I wish that on people? No. I wish that people, you know, could just say, you know, it is a time and a place for everything, and there is a time to still try to pursue that person, you know, if you did something wrong or in you really want to kind of plead your case. But, you know, it's sad to say that, you know, to your point, once you get to that place, then your logical self is no longer the person that's really trying to go after this person. So it's just unfortunate that in some situation it has ended in someone, you know, no longer being here.
On a positive note, when it's over and all means are exhausted, please let it be over, you know what I mean? I mean, if you need help, you gotta cry in your bathroom, lock the door for 6 weeks or something, no eat, do that before you hurt somebody.
Yeah.
Seek help or
Yeah, go
talk
to
to
counsel.
somebody, yeah, please.
That's a smart thing. We definitely don't want to leave the show, although we put out there our own, you know, ideas of what we think and how we move. But that's definitely something that we want to make sure that we express, is that we're not condoning violence. We don't think or feel that people should move in that motion. And again, if you're there, call a friend, call a family member. You know, before you hurt yourself, before you hurt someone else. There's so much to life, and you only get one. So again, but we're not gonna, you know, leave you on such that. I mean, it's sad that we, you know, we're gonna play some more music from
Cafe.
Peace, Cafe.
Love you, baby.
Thanks for tuning in as always, man. Mask Uncovered on everything. And all, my man, have faith, man. Like, yo, subscribe, like the channel, man. Share. What's the name of this song?
All in the day.
All in the day. All in the
Yeah.